Yan. So, welcome friends, no? So, let us now discuss the second part of our derivatives ng transcendental functions, no? So, let's go to derivatives of hyperbolic and inverse hyperbolic functions, no? So, konting review or siguro additional knowledge dun sa iba na hindi familiar sa hyperbolic and inverse hyperbolic functions. No, so let's go to this illustration here, no. So kung mapapansin natin, no, this is what we call our unit circle. Diba? So when we say unit circle, diba, that is a circle with radius equal to 1, no. So if we are going to plot, no, from the center of the circle, no, going to any point, no, on the circle. So, let's say this one. And then we'll draw a parallel line, no? A perpendicular line rather, to the x-axis, no? From that point. So, we will create a right triangle, no? And this one, no? Itong right triangle na to, dito nang galing yung ating tinatawag na trigonometric functions. 'Di ba? Yung mga trigo functions natin, trigonometric func ayan, functions. Okay, so trigonometric functions. Ano ba yung mga trigonometric functions natin? 'Di ba? Yun yung mga sine, 'di ba? Cosine, yung tangent, 'di ba? Yung cotangent, yung ating secant at saka yung ating cosecant. 'Di ba? Yan yung mga trigonometric functions natin, no? So, hindi ko na i-discuss no paano nakuha, no? As long as basta tandaan lang natin na ang trigonometric functions nanggaling siya sa unit circle, no? With this illustration, no? Ito yung ating theta. Ayan. Okay, so lagi nyo lang tatandaan yan, no? However, no, going to this illustration, no, so this is what we call naman a unit hyperbola. Ayan. So, this is what we call a unit hyperbola, no? Siguro yung iba sa inyo talagang totally bago to, which is understandable. Kasi kahit ako, undergrad ko na nalaman to, no? Yung hyperbolic functions. Hindi ko siya alam nung ako'y high school. No? So, if we're going to do the same manner, no? From what we did with the unit circle, no? And go from this point, no, from the center, no, of the from the center, no, going to any point on the hyperbola. So let's say here, diba? And we will go back to this point, no, dito sa ating vertex, no, yung vertex ng ating hyperbola. And we're going to connect this, no, mabubuo natin yung ating tinatawag na hyperbolic functions. Okay, again, ano, this is our reference. This is theta. No? So, this is what we call our hyperbolic functions. Now, when we say hyperbolic functions, no, these are circular, or hindi na siya circular, no? Functions, no, transcendental functions that are formed from the unit hyperbola. Ano yung mga hyperbolic functions natin? Actually, ito lang rin 'yon, no? Etong anim lang rin. Pero syempre, lalagyan natin ng hyperbolic sa unahan. No, so this is what we call the hyperbolic sign or sinh. No, yung shortcut. No, medyo nakakabulol lang to, so medyo masanay lang kayo. No. Sinh or the hyperbolic sign. Then we have the hyperbolic cosine. We have the hyperbolic tangent. The hyperbolic cotangent. The hyperbolic secant. And the hyperbolic cosecant. No, so yan yung anim na hyperbolic functions na nabuo natin from our unit hyperbola. No, so ayun. So we have, just like with trigonometric functions, no, we have several identities that governs, no, yung evaluation ng mga hyperbolic functions natin, no? So these are just some. I think I have not included all, pero ito yung mga usually na nagagamit, no? So we have our definition, no? Yung since u is equal to eu minus e raised to negative u over 2, where e is the Euler's constant, no? So next topic, mas maiintindihan natin kung ano si Euler's constant. Then we have cos u is equal to eu plus e raised to negative u over 2, then so on and so forth, no? So you can pause the video, no? Put this, copy this, no? Para matandaan ninyo. Yan. So I presume you have already copied, no? So let's go to the derivatives. No, so ayusin ko lang. Ayan. So, the derivatives, no, of our hyperbolic functions, just like our trigonometric functions, we evaluate them using what? Using our composite function. Sorry, I forgot to input the du. Wait lang. Ayan. No. So, ganun din, no, katulad lang ng trigonometric, we evaluate this using the concept or idea of composite functions, no? So if we have, let's say, no, hyperbolic sine u, the derivative of that is hyperbolic cosine u du, where du is the derivative of u, no? So ganun lang siya, no? Ayan, derivative of u. Then ganun din, no, we have our hyperbolic cosine u, the derivative of that is hyperbolic sine u du. The derivative of hyperbolic tangent u is hyperbolic secant squared u du. The derivative of hyperbolic secant u is negative hyperbolic secant u hyperbolic tangent u du. The derivative of hyperbolic cosecant u is equal to negative hyperbolic cosecant u hyperbolic cotangent u du. And last, we have the derivative of hyperbolic cotangent u is equal to negative hyperbolic cosecant squared u du. So, medyo mahaba siya basahin. Pero that's the proper way kasi. Pero if you just want to shortcut, no, since u, cos u, tan u, sec u, yung hyperbolic cosecant, yun talaga siya. Wala, hindi, mahirap basahin niya ng shortcut. Then cot u. No, so, ganun lang. No, so, yun, no? So, kung mapapansin niyo, no, unlike doon sa ating trigonometric functions, no, yung mga letter C's, yung mga letter C na function natin, yun ang may negative, no? Hyperbolic functions, they behave different from trigonometric functions. No, of course, si trigonometric is nanggaling sa circular functions. Yung hyperbolic functions natin are from the unit hyperbola, 'di ba? So definitely magkakaiba talaga sila, no? Saan tayo magkakaroon ng negative? Kay secant, no, kay hyperbolic cosecant, kay hyperbolic secant, hyperbolic cosecant, tsaka hyperbolic cotangent. No, kay sin, kay sinh, kay cos, tsaka kay tang, no, hindi tayo magne-negative. No, positive silang tatlo. Then the rest, negative na. Okay, so medyo madali lang tandaan yan, no? Ito yung medyo tricky tandaan, no? Yung sa inverse hyperbolic functions. No, so we have the derivative of inverse or arc hyperbolic sine u is equal to du over square root of u squared plus 1, where the value of u is valid for all values, no? So, or meaning, u is an element of the real number system, no? So it can take any value. Okay, so that is the derivative of hyperbolic secant, arc hyperbolic secant u. Now then we have the arc hyperbolic cosine u, no? So that is du over square root of u squared minus 1, where u should be greater than 1. Okay, then we have the derivative of arc hyperbolic tangent u, that is du over 1 minus u squared, where u is in between negative 1 and 1. Then we have the hyperbolic arc hyperbolic secant u is equal to the derivative of that in respect to x is equal to negative du over u times square root of 1 minus u squared, where u should be between 0 and 1. Then we have arc hyperbolic secant cosecant u is equal to negative du over u times square root of 1 plus u squared, where u should not be equal to 0, no? Should not be equal to 0. And the derivative of arc arc hyperbolic cotangent u is equal to negative du over 1 minus u squared, where u squared should be greater than 1. Okay, so yun yung ating uh, derivatives ng inverse hyperbolic. Okay, so you also need to memorize this one. Yes. Now, however, yung mga conditions natin dito, no, hindi naman siya mahalaga kasi hindi siya mahalaga in the sense na hindi pa naman tayo nag-evaluate ng numerical values ng ano natin, no, ng mga u natin, ganun, no. So, ibig sabihin, for example, nagkaroon tayo ng initial value problem, x is equal to 0, pero ang tanong is what? Uh, ang tanong is, we are asked to find the derivative of inverse, let's say ito, yung inverse hyperbolic hyperbolic cosecant u, pero cosecant x rather. Pero ang value ng x mo nga, sabi dun sa initial value problem is equal to 0, meaning wala siyang derivative. Kasi u should not be equal to 0. Gets nyo ba? So, I hope you got it, guys, no? So, this again, these conditions will only fall kapag nagkaroon na tayo ng substitution. Pero kapag we're just getting the plain derivative, no, without substituting values to y and x, no, this is okay. No, walang problema diyan. No, so just get the formula, then substitute du and u, then you're good. Okay, so let's try. So we have here example, no, we have our first example, y is equal to hyperbolic sine 3x minus hyperbolic cosine x over 2. No, so we're asked to find what is the derivative in respect to, of course, in respect to x. Now, d over dx. Ayan. So we have our y prime is equal to, what is the derivative of hyperbolic sine u? No, that is hyperbolic cosine u. So, lagay muna natin dito. du, of course, huwag nyo kalimutan yung du. Minus, no, the derivative of hyperbolic cosine u is hyperbolic sine u, du. Diba? So, however, para hindi ako malito, no, let's say, I will assign this, since they are different values, I will assign this as u. I will assign this as v. No, so, hyperbolic sine v dv. Okay? So, u is equal to 3x. So, therefore, du is equal to 3. Diba? The derivative of 3x in respect to x is 3. Then, we have x over 2. V is equal to x over 2. So, our dv is equal to 1/2. Now, tapos, plug nyo na lang ng i-plug. So, we'll have our y prime is equal to 3 hyperbolic cosine 3x minus 1/2 hyperbolic sine ano yung v natin? X over 2 or 1/2 x. Ba? So, this is our answer. Ganun lang siya. No? Easy, basic na basic. Okay, so bakit parang adali naman masyado? No, kasi remember guys, wala na tayong ma-factor out, 'di ba? If you can remember. So let's say sige, factor out ko yung 1/2, no. Sige. Let's say no, kunwari, factor out ko yung 1/2. So 1/2 times, kapag nag-factor out ako ng 1/2 kay 3, ano may iiwan kay 3? Meron ba tayong factor ng 1/2 kay 3? Yes, meron definitely. No, ano mangyayari? Magiging 6 na siya. 6 hyperbolic cosine 3x minus hyperbolic sine 1/2 x. Pero actually, it did not make sense. I mean, in the sense na wala naman nangyari. No, so, na-factor out lang, but it's just the same. Kasi 'di ba pag binalik natin, 6 divided by 2 is 3. No, tama? Okay, so, sige, ito na yung gamitin natin final answer. Ayan. Okay? So, again, kapag nasa internal function ng trigonometric, ng transcendental functions natin in general, no, hindi mo siya pwede galawin. Hindi mo siya pwede operate. No, there are specific ways on operating values of u, or the internal functions of transcendental functions. Dun pumapasok yung paggamit ng mga identities. Okay? So, that's for number 1. Number 2, no, so we have y is equal to hyperbolic cotangent 1 over x plus hyperbolic tangent 1 plus x squared. No? So we have, let's say, u is equal to, unahin ko naman ngayon, no? Yung pagkuha ng u, tsaka yung du. So we have negative 1 over x squared. Bakit siya naging negative 1 over x squared? Kasi this is equal to x raised to negative 1, di ba? So, lipat. Tapos, negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. So, negative x raised to negative 2 is negative 1 over x raised to 2. Okay, so we'll have v is equal to 1 plus x squared. dv is equal to what? dv is equal to 2x. Okay, so we'll have y prime is equal to, let's get the derivative. Yan. So, we'll have the derivative of hyperbolic cotangent, no? So, what's the derivative of hyperbolic cotangent? That is negative hyperbolic cosecant squared u du. No? So, we have negative hyperbolic cosecant squared u du. Then, hyperbolic tangent, that is plus hyperbolic secant squared u du. So, para mas maayos, pagpapalitin ko sila. No? Bali, magiging ano siya, sech squared u du minus dv pala. Sorry. Kasi nagpalit pala tayo ng variable dito. Which is, I just did it para hindi natin mapag-interchange yung dapat na mapunta dun sa kanya-kanyang functions. Ha? Ayan. So, we have negative sech cosecant hyperbolic cosecant squared u du plus sech squared v dv. No, so, pagpapalitin ko lang sila. So, we'll have y prime is equal to sech squared 1 plus x squared times 2x. No, so, doon ko siya lagay. 2x sech, ayusin ko. Sige natin on that. Yan. So, we'll have 2x sech squared 1 plus x squared. Then, minus sech, hyperbolic cosecant u, that is 1 over x. But since I have negative 1 over x squared, no, so, usog ko siya. Lalagay ko pa yun, of course. So, we have negative times negative. This is positive. No? So, therefore, our final answer is, we can actually factor out again 1 over x squared. So, kapag nag-factor out ako ng 1 over x squared, magiging, si 2x magiging 2x cubed. Okay, so we'll have y prime is equal to 1 over x squared times 2x cubed sech squared times 1 plus x squared plus ito na lang. Ayan. 1 over x. Okay, and this is our final answer. So again, I just factored out 1 over x squared. Yan. Okay? So, basic na basic. Easy. Yes, sir. Okay, so number 3 naman tayo. No? So, we have y is equal to arc sinh 2x plus arc cos of 5x squared plus 3x plus 2. No? So, usog ko lang ng konti. Yan. Okay, so what is our u? No, let's say this is u. This one whole is v. No, laging ganun no, kapag magkaiba yung internal functions, you assign different variables para hindi kayo malito. No, so we'll have u is equal to 2x, du is equal to 2. Diba? Then v is equal to 5x squared plus 3x plus 2. So, dv is equal to 10x plus 3. Diba? Ayan. Okay, so game, no? So, how are we going to deal this? formula lang rin. No, so we'll have the derivative of arc hyperbolic sine u is equal to du over square root of u squared plus 1. No, so lagay natin dito, no, para hindi tayo malito. Du over square root of u squared plus 1. Ayan. Then we have the derivative naman for cos v, arc cos v. Saan yan? Saan? Hindi ko makatayo yung mouse ko. Ayun. So, arc cos v, wait lang. Oops. Diba, this is equivalent to, that is, magpapalit lang ng sign, diba? Du over square root ng u squared minus 1 naman. Okay? So, plug na lang natin. So, we'll have, take into consideration, baka mamaya meron tayong negative sign. Wala naman. So, that's good. So, we have y prime is equal to, na-operate na ba natin? Ay, hindi pa. So, usok ka lang to number 4. Ayan. Ayan, dyan ka. Ayan. So, let's operate. Lagyan ko lang ng d over dx. Ayan. So, we'll have y prime is equal to So, diretso na, no? So, du is equal to 2. So, that is 2 over square root ng 2x squared, 2x quantity squared plus 1. Mamaya na natin simplify, no? Plug muna natin lahat. Plus 10x plus 3 over square root ng 5x squared plus 3x plus 2 squared minus 1. Okay? So, okay, game. So, simplify na lang natin. So, we'll have, may simplify pa ba tayo dito? Parang wala na. No, so, pwede nating sige, ano natin to? Expand natin. So, 2 over square root ng 4x squared plus 1, which is not factorable, di ba? Okay na yan. Then, plus 10x plus 3 over, this one is quite hard to expand, di ba? Trinomial. So, hayaan na lang muna natin yan. Squared minus 1. Ayan. So, this is our final answer. Diba? So, if you want to check, no, so you can actually expand this one, tapos i-operate mo lang yung negative 1, pasok mo doon sa pinaka-last term, kasi pinaka-last term dito for sure magiging constant, diba? That is 4, no? So, yeah, that is 4. So, 4 minus 1 is 3. Pero, it won't make sense, actually. No? So, kasi, ano to eh, hindi mo siya ma-operate. No? Parang ganun. Ayan. So, that's it. No? So, I hope you guys learned something. Thank you very much for listening. Stay safe and... hindi pa pala. Sorry, I forgot. We have number 4. No, so we have y is equal to arc hyperbolic tangent of tangent 2x. Okay, may magkasama, no? So, huwag kayong matakot sa ganyan. Then, minus arc hyperbolic cotangent of 1 over x. No? So, this is our u. No, huwag nyo kakalimutan. Itong buong to, yan ang ating u. Then, this one is v. No? Yung 1 over x. So, we have u is equal to tangent to x, lagi nyo na agad kunin yung u tsaka yung du. Diba? The derivative of tangent to x is 2 secant squared to x. Sir, paano nangyari yun? Ano mo lang, 'di ba yung previous lesson natin, 'di ba? Tangent u is equal to hyperbolic. Tangent u is equal to secant squared u du. 'Di ba? Yun yung kanyang derivative. Then we have v is equal to 1 over x. 'Di ba? Nakuha na natin to kanina. dv is equal to negative 1 over x squared. So we'll have the formula no for arc hyperbolic tangent u is equal to that is du over 1 minus u squared. Ayan. Then for hyperbolical tangent u naman, arc hyperbolical tangent u, that is negative du over 1 minus u squared. Okay? Or dv, no? Kasi v pala yung ginamit natin. Lagi ko nakakalimutan. Ayan. So, v, dv, and okay na kahit iba color. No? So, let us substitute. Let us operate this one muna. Ayan. So, y prime is equal to du over 1 minus u squared minus negative dv over 1 minus v squared. Remember, hindi sila magkaparehas. Okay, so this one will cancel. Diba? Cancel. Oops. Cancel. So, magiging plus basically. So, we have y prime is equal to 2 secant squared 2x over 1 minus tangent 2x quantity squared. Then minus dv is negative, plus na pala, sorry. Plus negative 1 over x squared over 1 minus v squared. 1 minus, what is our v? That is 1 over x. 1 over x quantity squared. Okay, so yan. So let us operate, no? So simplify natin, no? May mga simplification tayo magagawa dito. 2 secant squared 2x over 1 minus pwede nating ilagay yung square sa tangent, no? Ayan, 2x plus or minus, no? Kasi may minus tayo dito. Minus 1 over x squared. Diba this one can be simplified? Ito yung denominator natin. Diba? Oops. Itong denominator natin, diba? This can be simplified 1 over x raised to x squared. Tapos this is equal to x squared minus 1 over x squared basically. Now, so we can multiply the what? The reciprocal. So times x squared over x squared minus 1. Just to simplify. Then of course makakancel yung x squared, 'di ba? Tapos 'di ba, remember, if you can remember, no? So we have trigonometric identities, 'di ba? So let us check. Does this 1 minus tangent squared x, or basically 1 minus tangent squared u is equal to something, 'di ba? So yun yung mga kailangan ninyong i-verify, no? So kasi baka mamaya itanggapin niyo na ganito na yan, no? So wala na tayo, mamamali na kayo. So secant squared u is equal to 1 plus tangent squared u. So meaning hindi natin sila papagsama, no? So kapag kasi pinalitan pa natin, wala namang mangyayari. So ito lang yung makakancel. So yan, so that's already verified. Okay. No, so therefore, our final answer, the derivative is 2 secant squared 2x over 1 minus tangent squared 2x minus 1 over x squared minus 1. No, so wala tayong masisimplify and this is our final answer. Sir, di mo pa pagko-cross multiplyin? Okay lang, pero wala namang mangyayari. Diba? So, okay na yun. Hayaan na natin. Okay, so that's it. Ito na, legit, no? That's it. Thank you for listening, guys. No, I hope you guys learned something. No, so, aral na maigi, stay safe, and God bless.